Assalamualaikum dear viewers. I am Professor Khalil, ACP, and our today's topic is a Shakespearean poem, All the Words a Stage. William Shakespeare was born on 23rd April 1564 and died on 23rd April 1616. His lifespan was of 52 years. His wife's name was Anne Hathaway and three children, and their names are Hamnet Shakespeare, Judith Queenie, and the third one is Susanna Hall. William Shakespeare belonged to the age of Queen Elizabeth and Jacob of British theatre. This very age or his age called English Renaissance or early modern period. William Shakespeare was a sonneteer and he wrote 154 sonnets, and he was famous for his plays or dramas, and he is a well-renowned playwright of his time, just like Christopher Marlowe. Let's move towards the digital screen. All the words a stage, all the words a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being seven ages, at first the infant, mewling and perking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like snail, unwilling to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad, made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard. Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good cap on lind, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful who's well saved a word too wide for his shrunk shrank and his big manly voice, turning again toward childish treble pipes, and whistles in his sound, last scene of all, that ends this stage eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Saints' teeth, saints' eyes, saints' taste, saints' everything. All the words are stage. All the world are stage, and all the men and women merely players. These are the early two lines of William Shakespeare. The poem All the Words are stage, and he defines the human being and in what way they can be divided into seven stages. And he considered that this very world where we are surviving ourselves or where we are just living our life, this very word is just like a stage, and human beings are its characters, and they performed their duties one by one and one after another, and the way they are just coming or entering into the word, and the way they are just exiting from the word in the form of a death. He is taking both the genders, either the men or women, they perform their duties in the very word. And one man in his lifetime plays many parts, as the poem says, that a person who just arrived here in this very world, he just passed through different sort of troubles and tribulations. And those troubles and tribulations makes his life divide into different parts. and he has divided the human life into seven parts. His X being seven ages, he is defining that a person who just arrived in this world and he just passed through the seven stages. It is not possible for all of them, but most of the people, they just live their life as complete. Most of the time there are so many deaths in accidents, or there are so many ailments, a person who just get involved into some sort of ailment and died in his early life. That's why this is not about all the human being, but about those people who have their life from childhood to death, and he is defining their life into seven ages. The very first stage of every human being, either male or female, is the infant. That every one of us remains an infant when he starts his life or just enter into the world. At first, the infant mewing and pucking in the nurse's arm, and nurse is the first connection of an infant as well as the human being. Nurse remains there just to put that child in her hands and just slap at the back of child to extract out all the remnants of our mother's womb into the very body. And he is defining that at first he just came into the hand of a nurse, and nurse deals that child in so delicately that mewing and pucking in the nurse's arms that she extracted out all the remnants in the form of as some sort of vomiting. It is not a vomit. Basically, the remnants in her body or in the body of a child, it just get out of it. And then the winning school child. The second stage is when a child or when an infant enters into the age of a child who can walk on four, just like a toddling child, or on two legs, and he is about to start going to school. At that movement, the child has a winning face or angry face, or a child who is not ready just to attend the schools. That thing is being defined as second stage, with his satchel, some sort of bag, always at his back, and shining morning face. A child who is so beautiful that everyone has certain attractions toward that child just to make that child love, but that child is not happy just to move from the home to school, because he knows that this world is just to play, and he always feel like it playing among the children instead of studying. And the parents forces that child to study and to go to school, creeping like snakes, and he is not moving fastly towards the school. He always tries to avoid to enter into some school or just to play outside the school all the time. Otherwise, a child has an option just to play even in the school time or with the school children. But Shakespearean second stage is that child who is being specifically mentioned as that child is not happy. He always remains in winning mood or angry mood whenever he is asked or he is prepared for school. Unwilling to school. And then the lover. The third stage is the stage of a lover, and it is most lovable stage. That a lover sighing like furnace. He always has a love for somebody. In our world, that love is just from male to female, but in the Western world, there is the idea of homosexuality from male to male. A lover, here he means to say that a true love either of a male or either of a female. But it was an era, either there was certain situations available at that time, or the love that was defined in the very word where the people, they try to survive themselves, or as well as that they just share their feelings with someone else, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress I go. And a lover always have certain ballads, some sort of songs in the form of writing. And a lover always feel like to say something in the form of some song or in the form of some poetry. He has defined that valet made to his mistress eyebrow and always tries to create certain elements into a female. Either she is beautiful, what sort of eyes she got from the god side, and what sort of face and what sort of physique, each and everything can be mentioned. But he specifically defined the eyebrows of a beloved. That is very good thing in Shakespeare. And the fourth stage is the stage of a soldier. When he just passed through the stage of a lover, he entered into a stage of a soldier, full of strange odds, and he is ready just to lay down his life for the sake of country, and bearded like a part, jealous in honor. And he has defined three elements in a soldier's life: strange oaths, as well beard like a part, and he's always ready just to jump into some sort of quarrel or fight against his enemies. And the third thing, jealous in honor. He wouldn't like let anybody pass through him and got more honor comparatively to his own. That's why he is ready just to lay down his life just to get the honor or just to get the attention, just like the knights in Chaucerian age or Spenserian age. Sudden and quick in course, and he knows that at where or at what time he should just jump into some sort of fight and be the part of it. Seeking the bubble reputation, as he is believing that his reputation is not more than a bubble which appears on the surface of a water, and how much life that very bubble got on the surface of water, it just disrupt at once. Even in the cannon's mouth, even he feels so that his reputation is too weak. That's why he is not afraid of any sort of death situation or martyred situation. He is ready just to lay down or sacrifice his life. And then the justice in a person's life, a person who always have good intention or good advice, pieces of advices to share with others or just to inform others what sort of things or ideas they should adopt in life and what sort of ideology they should adopt in future life. In fair round belly with good capon lean, a justice and his description is being defined. In what form he should appear before the people, and either he should always ready. Capon means that he had a specific dress with eyes severe, and there is severity, there is seriousness in his eyes, and people always come towards him to get some information or to get some sort of advice. And beard of formal cut, and he would like just to be a mix-up form or mix-up situation where he is so social with the other people, full of wise saws and modern instances. And a justice should be informed or should have information specifically about the wisdom as well as modern instances, that he should be aware what is happening around it and what sort of advices they are too good for the people just to be imparted to them. So he plays his part. And the sixth stage, as Shakespeare has defined, the sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloons when a person gets too weak that even his pant is not going to stay on his body. It just gets loosened to that extent that it always slips from his body because of his weakness. With spectacle on nose, and a person when he just enters into the sixth stage, he always have a spectacle on his nose and pouch on side, and have a pouch just like we have the packet of cigarettes in our hands, especially at that age when we believe that the people, they are to come to us and they are to share some sort of
जी।
his youthful who's well saved, a word too wide. Now, all of his memories and recollections of the past time or the first five stages always remain with him, and he is just living the life on the basis of all those five ages because he has certain recollections in his mind. And one of the novella as being named as Mr. Chips, it is also about the biography of an old man and his old age being defined. That novella was not of Shakespeare, but the same situation is being defined by Shakespeare too. And the seventh stage, far his shrank and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble pipes. In this sixth stage, everything of that person get weak or get lean to that extent, even the voice he is extracting out from his mouth, he that voice get too weak and just like a child's voice that is being asked or being mentioned by Shakespeare. And whistles in his sound, and his sound has certain whistles, certain sort of the relevant voices, and those voices may be related to the children. Last scene of all that ends this stage, eventful history. And in the end, a person falls into the seventh stage, and that stage is just to forget each and everything of the past because a person becomes as saints is second childishness and mere oblivion. When a person becomes a second child, or the very first stage is being repeated, first or second stage is being repeated in a human's life, and that is being when he just forget each and everything of the past, and he has certain things to keep himself in touch with, and that is just to keep oneself alone and all the time alone. Saint's teeth, now whatever he eats, there is no taste in it. Saint's eyes are too weak that he is not in a position just to watch anything else. Saint's taste, and whenever he eats something else, that lost its taste. And saint's everything, now his life gets end right here.